Is Ann Tyler. She's a licensed marriage and family therapist and a certified Canfield Success Principles trainer, speaker, and coach based in Minneapolis. She recently became a #1 international best-selling author. Wow. Featured in the book Believe Beyond. Discover the Power of Unwavering Belief. The book debuted on the New York City Times Square billboard earlier this year. Anne is on a mission to help people shake off doubt, step into their most courageous selves, and claim the bold, authentic lives they deserve. One baby brave step at a time. With a passion for helping others feel seen, heard, and understood, she guides audiences in uncovering the clarity, confidence, and purpose they need to create the fulfilling lives they are meant to lead. Her message is simple yet powerful. Courage doesn't have to be loud to be life-changing. And she is here today to tell us more about her approach to life. So please welcome Ann Tyler.
Thank you.
Oh boy.
I do have a clarification. I am not a marriage counselor, so I will not be able to help you with your marital needs.
Fix it then.
What if it doesn't work?
Could you at least expand the window so it's a little bigger?
Is it a PowerPoint or a PDF?
It's in Canva.
Well, it's in Canva right now. Usually, if you're connected, you can just.
Maybe try refreshing the. Canva was having a weird thing this morning too.
Oh, I probably need to connect to your Wi-Fi here.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you do.
What's the password again?
That
everybody?
makes more sense, huh?
It just comes up. Just ask you to accept.
City guest
Okay.
is the Wi-Fi.
Yep. Then scroll down. There it is. Accept.
Just thinking about it.
Guess we forgot that detail.
Success. There you go.
Thanks, team. Now that should work.
Yay.
Well, look at this. It's been a while since I've done it just like this. Okay. All right, huge. So, just gonna grab my notes here. So yes, I am a certified Success Principles trainer, coach, and speaker, which you can see. And bear with me, I'm gonna use Brian's computer here. This is my welcome. So the identity gap, getting what you want. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay. So getting what you want is closer than you think. I am a firm believer in the identity gap being a huge part of this. And so I just want to start with a question. Who would like more responsibility? That's pretty typical, pretty typical answer. Not many of us would like to take on more responsibility. You probably have a gazillion things you already have going on in your mind and that you have to handle, but these 3 letters, if you let them, can actually change your life. E plus R equals O stands for event plus response equals outcome. And I'm not really one for having a big rigmarole on what to do, but I really like cheat sheets, and E plus R equals O is really great. So I think the best example that I think of is like if you're having a moment of road rage, for example, which, you know, talking about a friend, having a moment of road rage, and you know, you're going down the freeway, and somebody cuts you off, and you could think, A, they're a jerk, 2, you know, nobody cares about me, 3, there's a million things that you can think of in your mind, and it's very easy to do that. Whereas, if you stop and think, that was the event, the person cut you off. The response is, you get to decide how you respond. You could also have a myriad of other possibilities. They were on their way to the hospital to see their daughter for the very last time. They knew they were about to get fired if they didn't get to work on time. They XYZ. And when you do that in that moment, has anybody done that in that moment? Had that moment where you're consciously thinking, okay, I'm gonna choose something else, because what happens is we just eat that anger, and where does it go? It just stays with us, versus the other driver doesn't care. So E plus R equals O. I think it's just a good reminder that we can choose the response. We have choice. So just to talk about the response a little bit more, there was this famous researcher who was known for creating a lot of medical breakthroughs, and he was getting interviewed by a reporter, and he said, he was asked, what would you attribute to all your success and all of these breakthroughs that you've come up with? And he said, he's like, I can take it all the way back to when I was a 2-year-old child, and a lesson I learned from my mother, which was, one day he opened the fridge, took the milk out of the fridge, and he's 2, he's got 2-year-old hands, spills all over the floor, and what does his mom do? His mom says, "My, what a wonderful mess you've made." And since you've already made the mess, since the mess has already been made, damage has already been done, would you like to get down and play in the milk? And of course he did. And so after a few minutes of that, she said, well, eventually we have to clean up the mess, and would you prefer to use a mop, a rag, or a sponge? And so they clean it up, and then they go outside, and she takes a gallon, fills it with water, and she says, now this is a failed experiment of 2 little hands spilling the milk, or not being able to hold the milk. And so let's go outside and take this jug with the water in it, and see if we can't learn to do it without spilling. So he said it was that moment from age 2 that he realized that he wasn't afraid of failure. Can you imagine if you, and hopefully you had that kind of childhood, that you grew up or had some kind of role model where it was okay to fail, or okay to fall, or okay to spill the milk. It just really, really makes the difference. And you can see that in people around us, some people who don't know that lesson and other people who do. And I would say, if you didn't have that experience, adopt this story. So we definitely, the R, the response, the E plus R equals O, is all about choice. You have a choice and chance to change your experience in any given moment. There's a principle in success that I learned from my mentor, Jack Canfield, and one of his principles is take 100% responsibility for your life. And sometimes that can feel like a lot when you think about all the other people in your life, and you're thinking, well, what about them? Are they gonna take 100% responsibility for their lives? But you can't. You can only take 100% responsibility for yourselves. And even if that sounds like too much, think about what would it look like if we were to take 5% more responsibility. If you were to take 5% more responsibility for your well-being, for your health, for your success, for your relationships, a little bit more bite-sized. I really love this quote by Jim Rohn. Who you think you are is often the biggest obstacle to becoming who you want to be. So, break this off. So as Peggy described, I am now a best-selling author, honestly, never in my absolute wildest dreams could I imagine that my face would have been on a Times Square billboard in New York City, a best-selling author, and to be able to train directly with my mentor, Jack Canfield, who is the author of Chicken Soup for the Soul, if you're not familiar with him. Not everybody knows his name, everybody knows the books, and the Success Principles, which is how I was trained by him. So there is me standing in front of one of the billboards. There were a few of them. There were a couple of the book, and then of our pictures. So I am in the bottom left, or bottom right, excuse me, three to the left, and then right here. So never in my wildest dreams did I imagine that my face would be up here. It was a crazy moment. It was something that I just couldn't expect. That having all this come to fruition was absolutely nuts, to be able to use my voice as a facilitator, trainer, coach, and speaker. Because there was a time when I thought I had completely lost my voice. I was speaking for a living as an on-air radio personality, but there came a day when I had nothing left to say. I was in a toxic situation, and I had felt myself disappearing piece by piece every single day. So there I was in the DJ booth, and I turned on the mic. Nothing would come out. Absolute silence. Zilch. Zero. And in that moment, I realized how much I had been disappearing, how much I had actually given my power away, and I realized I wasn't in integrity, and I'd lost touch of my intuition, and it felt like I'd completely gave away my power. And it took a lot of years building my trust back up with myself from that point on, but I knew I never ever wanted to feel like that again, and I didn't want anybody else to feel like that again. So it was a lot of work, a lot of years later, and to be able to get to my voice again, to trust that intuition. And the biggest lesson I have learned is trust your intuition. You know, those little yellow alerts that you have, those little yellow alerts that I had, they turn into red alerts real quick if you let them go. If you think, oh, it'll be okay, we're gonna do this. So that's what I learned. I had to tap back into my intuition, tap back into my integrity, and ask, if this is what I stand for, what am I gonna be doing about it? And so here we are coming to this and using my voice again, and it can come back. So the biggest lesson again is trusting that intuition, and being able to trust when something is off, even if everyone around you is trying to tell you that it's fine. So these are just some pictures of being with Jack, my mentor, and the people I've met all over the world as a result of this growth. So I want to ask you to imagine if you were to have a magic wand and wave it and change anything in your life, have any circumstances, all the obstacles go away, what would you do? Just think about that. Imagine for a second. No obstacles. All the people were behaving in your world that you have great relationships. Everything that you could think of was just exactly the way that you want, and that you couldn't fail. The reason I love this picture, or anything resembling this, could be, I have a Wonder Woman book at home that I look at that has a little attached crown with the book. So sometimes, if you're having one of those days, maybe it's a day where somebody did cut you off in traffic and you're thinking, oh, Or you have something, something big, a phone call that you have to make, something big that is a little scary, something that you, whatever it is, pick whatever it could be. I find it very helpful to be a little kid again and think of, well, what if it works out? And if it's helpful to imagine putting, maybe you could really do it, but you could imagine, just in your mind, imagine putting on the super outfit, whether it's Superman or Supergirl or Wonder Woman or whatever it is, and then you kind of have a different gusto and just make believe again like a kid. So I was going to ask if you are so willing, I'd love to do a visualization with you guys. So if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to have you close your eyes. It'll just be a couple more minutes here, or a minute or two. So imagine it's 3 years from now. You've achieved incredible success in your business. What does your day look like? Who are you helping? How does it feel? How does it feel to have succeeded? How do you dress? How do you carry yourself? Do you walk taller? Who are you surrounded by? Where do you live? What is possible for you now? I'm going to let you take a moment to picture and feel your vision. So if you're ready, or when you're ready, you can come back, open your eyes. So this is actually included on your little worksheet I handed out. Feel free to use it or not, there's no pressure. This is just for something to, because sometimes we have those moments where we can picture it, and then it's kind of crazy how it goes poof right out of our mind when we have the millions of other things we have to do today. So first question, what does the future version of you believe about themselves? What daily habits or actions do they take? How does that version of you interact with others? That might be different than currently. And how can you begin embodying this version of yourself today? So whatever that looks like, whatever that is for you, and you're all going to have a different vision of, and sometimes there's different scenes or seasons of your life too, where, you know, there's a season where you're really big on relationships and you really want to improve your relationships. Sometimes there's a season where you're focused completely on career or the kids, or, you know, different relationships, your parents, or different seasons. So I'll give you a moment to finish that up. Feel free to take these home and look at them, hide them if you need to, if you don't want anybody else to see what you wrote, because these are personal, these are for you. Unless, is anybody willing to share what they wrote? Totally okay if none of you want to share. well, we'll keep it personal. Keep it personal, and then, yeah, keep it in a place that if something came up that maybe you forgot about, something that you've forgotten that you care about, or you haven't stopped in a while to think, this is really important to me, I encourage you to hold it close somewhere, even if you're hiding it in the glove compartment of your car or whatever you need to do. So this is the magazine I was telling you ladies about. So it's nothing specific to this magazine, although I tried to find one that was around the 92, 93 era with appropriate taglines. So this is just to talk about a story. When I was about 13 years old, I remember, I'll never forget this. I was reading it was Glamour or Cosmos, one of those. And some of the ladies in this room know there's always like one serious article in there, one. And the article that I read, it was all about things that were happening to women in the Middle East. And every time I tell this story, it makes me have tears in my eyes. I bawled. I had tears streaming down my face for a long time. And I just remember thinking, I need to be as powerful and as rich as I possibly can, because in this world, as a 13-year-old, I'm thinking that's how you make change, that's how you have power. I thought of Oprah. Oprah makes change. She does good things in the world, and she just has more money to have more power to do things, right? So this was, every time I think about that moment, and I do a lot, and it reminds me of the word integrity. Integrity is my absolute top value. And a lot of us think integrity is, being nice to people, being nice to one another, being nice to the server, and just being a good, kind person. But another version of integrity, I think, is, are we really living, that was a question I had for myself, is, am I really living true to the values? Am I doing the big work I want to do with women on a bigger scale that I say I wanted to do? And so for me, it was a little bit of an integrity audit, thinking, I say I'm in integrity, but am I really doing the things every day that supports that bigger goal that I want to do? So I don't think this is a one-time thing either, this integrity audit. I think it's important for us to do it seasonally, yearly, whatever you think, but to come back to it and do an integrity audit. And again, you're all gonna have different integrity audits. Again, different seasons of life of what's important. But to ask yourself, are you really, for the things that you want, are you spending the time doing the things that you want to do, or are you spending time doing things that don't really matter to you, but it's because you feel like you're supposed to? It's an obligation, but it's not really pulling at your heart and soul. And of course, there's obligations we have with family and that sort of thing, but are there other things that you can do in your life that might kind of get that fire back? The integrity audit is a pivotal thing for me that I keep coming back to. So I've just got a little bit of funny cartoons to kind of cue up the next spot. All about taking action. So what are we going to do with all this info? So in case you can't read it, because it's kind of little, I'd like to help you out, but I've misplaced my wand. These are two people, it looks like they're talking in the break room, but they have a couple glasses of wine there, so maybe it's in Mad Men era. So this poor guy is trying to pull, or he's trying to slide, he's trying to slide when it says push or pull. So, think about that in our lives. There's so many times that we don't just stop to think, oh, maybe just read the directions. Or, we just get really frustrated when there's really a simple solution. When somebody tells me I can't do something, that's when I become convinced I really can't. How many of you had maybe somebody in your life make you feel like you couldn't do something? So this one cracks me up it's good and not good in the same way. If it weren't for you, okay, the cat on him. If it weren't for you, I would have conquered the world by now. Blaming the cat.
It's called COL. Cat on lap.
Oh, I love it. There's an
It's a
official.
special disease.
Okay.
My wife has it.
Oh,
Cats on lap.
calling out your wife.
This is recorded, I will remind you.
Oh my gosh. This one is just the perfect example of what, the little comments that we hear from other, people. There we go. Why did the chicken cross, this one's hard to read. Why did the chicken cross the road? If you cross, we'll all be so proud of you. You're not nervous about it, are you? Eventually you're gonna have to cross, so why not get it out of the way? So don't wait, the time will never be just right. So I heard you guys have happy bucks. Who wants this $10?
Mary will take that.
They knew I would.
Mary wants this.
And what do we need to do for it?
Mm.
You just put it in that little. It's easy.
It's easy.
I know, I'm gonna hold out, Mary. Who wants this?
Then I did.
All right.
Go up and grab it, Mary.
Okay.
Don't wait, Mary. The time will never be just right.
Oh, I see. I thought there was more to it. Well, and then I have two to add to it.
Oh, look at, up the
Because the
ante.
treat you got was from the birthday party on Sunday, and I just wanted to share dessert with you today.
Oh.
So please eat them up.
They're very delicious.
Take 2 or 3.
Please take them away
We'll
from
save
me.
some for you, Mary.
There you go.
So we're gonna put this in the pot.
Okay,
And it's gonna
okay.
go to Polio Plus to eradicate polio.
Perfect. I know that is a major cause for you guys. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you,
Woo!
Anne.
Yeah, round of applause for Mary. So what did Mary do with a little assistance from her team that nobody else did?
Got up.
She got up and
Did it.
took it. She got up and took it. And the reason I love this exercise is because it's just a really great metaphor for life. A really great metaphor. And I know we're sitting in this room but what are some of the things that maybe came across your mind of why you didn't get up? Some of the most common things are, I thought I'd look stupid. I thought I didn't want to look greedy. I thought somebody else would need it more than me. And think about that. Or, if you're hesitating here, is there anything else in life where you're hesitating, where it's something that you want? And I was saying, who wants this? As an offer for you to take the $10. And yes, it's only $10 in this case, but where else in your life might there be somebody actually ready to give you something? Whether it's, resources, attention, things, are there things that maybe you're leaving on the table? So this is why I love this exercise, and every time I have done it as a participant, it gets me every time, because, and even though I know the end result, there's still a part of me that's like, I don't want to run up there. I don't want to go get that. So I think it's just a great metaphor. So I love that. So the next action I have, the last part on your little worksheet that I gave you is there one thing in the next 10 minutes could you do that would move the needle for you? Write it down. Whether could be making a call to that person you wanted to ask a favor, making a call and maybe throwing out the olive branch to somebody who you're looking to reconcile with. Whatever that is for you, what is something that would move the needle for you that could be done in the next 10 minutes if push came to shove? What is that one thing? So next, and I know some of you wrote it down, some of you didn't, but if you've got it in your mind, if you wouldn't, I would love for you to tell the person next to you what you said. So I'll let you do that.
Most supportive.
It's great. We were talking about this, my teacher. You've got a million pieces of.
I mean, I don't know if it was like starting to feel like he was.
Did you guys get a chance?
I still feel like.
Did you guys get a chance to share your one thing? Awesome. So I would highly encourage and invite you to take this one thing and do that one thing. Do this one thing, and if you guys need to be accountability partners to the person you just told, if they're up for it, great, or get somebody else, or you can use me. But I would encourage you to do that thing. If it's something that's gonna move the needle in a good way for you, I would encourage you to do it, especially if it's something that can be done in that 10 minutes, a phone call or whatever. So I would just really encourage you to take action, and it just really changes everything. Like I was saying no can free up your yes, that phone call. But the thing I want to leave you with is this quote here. It's the wonderful wisdom of Panda Express. You know what you want. Now go out and get it. Thank you guys.